Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm going to be the moderator of my group here, and today we are going to talk about water scarcity, especially about clean and fresh water scarcity. We're going to talk about the origin and the causes of the problem, how wide the problem, how widespread the problem is, and how long has the problem existed. And we're going to talk about about some harms that are associated with water scarcity, and um, will these harms ever change? And if not, how the water scarcity problem will become even more bigger and more serious. So first, Emily here is going to talk about the origin of the problem and the causes of the problem.
So many people believe that the world supply of fresh water will never be run out. The world may not be exact run out of water, but it's running out of clean water, like fresh water. All us know like the water recycle, also called like hydrologic cycle, is a journey from the water from the land and to the sky and then come back and again. And the body part, like why does that happen? Like there are several reasons for the water pollution. Like the first one is like first the population is going up, so we don't have much clean water for everyone. So that's the first reason that we run out of fresh water. Second reason is we have a lot of factory and they didn't do well on the wastewater treatment, and so there's a lot of river, ocean, and have a big problem of the pollution problem. And conclusion is like for this presentation, we know that the water supply of the fresh water is running out, and only 1% in 5 has no access to safe drink water. And there are many factory is hurting our ocean, and it's become very dirty, and we really need to think about the solution to solve this problem.
All right. Thank you, Emily, for telling us more about the origin and the causes of the problem. Now, Tiffany is going to talk about how widespread the problem is and how long has the problem existed.
Water scarcity is among the main problems in society in the world in the 21st century. Water use has been growing at more than twice the rate of population increase in the last century, and globally the problem is getting worse as cities and populations grow and the needs for water increase in agriculture industry, households. Water scarcity already affects every continent, although not every country in the continent, but yeah. Around 1.2 billion people in the areas live in areas of physical scarcity. That means 1 in 5 people in the world are without any clean water. Around 700 million people in 43 countries suffer today from water scarcity. And sub-Saharan Africa has the largest number of water-stressed countries of any region. By 2025, 1.8 billion people will be living in countries and regions with absolute water scarcity. That's how fast this problem is progressing and how widespread it will soon be. Water scarcity is a problem that has persisted for a long time. Demand for water is growing several times faster than population as agriculture, industrial, and domestic uses increase. Global water use doubled between 1940 and 1980 and is due to double again by the year 2000. In 1998, it was reported that about half this increase is caused by population growth. In 1999, the United Nations Environment Program reported that 200 scientists in 50 countries has identified water shortage as one of the two most worrying problems for the new millennium. This map shows the amount of water scarcity and water stress there are in different countries, and yeah. With such a limited and valuable resource that we need to survive, water scarcity is an issue that needs to be resolved immediately, or the problem will go globally even more than it has now.
So on the map we see that the places with yellow and orange are the places where water scarcity is it's a bigger problem. Thank you, Stephanie, for your presentation. Now, Sarah is going to talk about the harms associated with this problem.
There are many harms that are associated with this problem. For example, 1/6 of the world's population does not have access to clean drinking water, so many people drink dirty water, causing diseases. Fresh water is also used for agriculture, so it's difficult to grow crops without clean water, and this causes starvation. Water scarcity also leads to lack of sanitation, which leads to infections. It also has an effect on aquatic species, and water scarcity also creates tensions among countries.
Thank you, Sarah. Now, Nathan will continue to talk about the harms, but he'll also mention he will mention about whether some countries are trying to change something about this problem and prevent it from happening.
So, a study authored by researchers at the Nature Conservancy conclude that by 2050 there will be about 1 billion people living with perennial water shortage. What's a water shortage? It's defined as having less than 100 liters of water per person per day, including all the daily needs. Currently, it's estimated that 150 million people experience such a shortage for at least 1 month of a year. However, world population is estimated to increase by 3 billion in the next 40 years. By looking at this number, as well as the climate change projection, the research were able to issue some warning to the worldwide community. One of the major effects forecasted in the study in the migration of people towards cities and urban population. As cities grow, so do their water needs. Although water may be supplied to the area, it may have to be pumped from very far away, a technique that inevitably runs to system dry. As a result, it's estimated that megacities like Mumbai in India and Beijing in China will be hit the hardest. We report on an analysis of current water shortage in alarmingly, some regions hit the both list. Finally, in recent years, Israel, the most leaders in water recycling, has advanced by leaps and bounds in desalination and recycling water. Israel recycles 60% of its wastewater and sewage, and in distant second place is Spain, with an average of 12%. The Israeli engineer found a way to recycle the water by took the seawater and took off all the waste and salts and finally get fresh water. This project can be very useful for the big city to fight against the water shortage, but it's still a really, really big and long and expensive project.
Thank you, Nathan, for telling us that there are some people in the world who still care about water and are trying to at least trying to solve the problem or prevent it from happening. Now I have only one question. I have one question for the members of my group. What do you think what methods should be made what to solve or even prevent or even to at least to slow the process of water shortage, because in the near future everyone will be affected from water scarcity, fresh water scarcity.
I think the basic one is like when you, like I see a lot of people when they washing their hand afterward that they didn't close it, and that is very wasting water. And there's a lot of way to keep water, like yeah, and
Like just when you're showering, brushing your teeth, just basic daily routines, and you could just switch it off when you're not using it, like when you're shampooing your hair or just brushing your teeth.
If you have any ideas about how to solve this problem, please share it with us. And if you have any other questions that are associated with this topic, you can ask any member of my group. Questions?